Afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. I'd like for you all to introduce yourselves to the audience that we have here and start with one interesting fact that's not art related.
Hi, my name is Louise, and my fun fact, if you could call it fun fact, is that I just have been diagnosed with schizoaffective disorder, which is a form of psychosis. And I'm also autistic and very ADHD, so if I'm chaotic during this talk, I'm very sorry. It's like medical.
You don't have to apologise for the chaos. That's art, isn't it? It can be quite chaotic. So thank you for sharing that with us, Louise. And thank you for all of you to be able to let us know some uninteresting but interesting facts. The first question we have is for everyone. What inspired you to pursue art, and how has your creative journey evolved to bring you to the Fleet Art Fair today?
The way I came to knowing that I was going to be an artist, I was always a very artsy kid. Like I would, like Saint said, I kind of had this experience of drawing on the walls and getting told off as well. But yeah, basically, what made me really realize I wanted to be an artist was when I was a kid, I was very much bullied, I would say, by other children, because I come from France, and the south of France, not the nice Paris kind of thing, but yeah, the south of France is very racist a bit, and I just felt like coming from a mixed race couple is like, I mean, a mixed couple, and being mixed race has really shocked them a little bit, and we were kind of ostracized from all the other families. So of course my younger brother and we suffered a lot at school, but my brother managed to go through that another way, and my way of going through it was to draw and paint. So I was really much obsessed with manga, and I wanted to be a mangaka for a while. A mangaka is like someone who makes mangas. So I wanted to go to Japan and study manga creating. And then I had this revelation, like, and during COVID, I bought some acrylic and some spray paints online, and it was the first time I was actually doing a painting, and it really made me understand that it was what I wanted to do. And then later I discovered ceramics and performance, but that's later in the journey. I moved to London when I was 16 alone for a sabbatical year, a gap year. And then I started studying fine art at the University of Westminster. So I'm in my third year now. And I met AJ last year, last school year, because I applied for his residency, a contemporary art studios residency, where it was amazing with Faith Anhu and Pablo de la Haye, also called Trafalgar. We had such a good time, and I feel like from that moment on, I really knew that my work was not only two-dimensional, but also three-dimensional, even four-dimensional. So yeah, I think that's kind of how I got here, and I'm just really happy I met people like that.
Thank you so much. Everyone give a round of applause for the first question. And this question now is for Kwesi and Louise. What challenges have you faced in the art world, particularly as emerging artists, and how have you navigated them? Starting with Louise, if that's okay.
Thank you. I would say the biggest challenge I have faced was my age. So I am 19 years old right now. I was born in December 2004. And
Very scary.
it is scary, I know. But yeah, basically, I'm a baby, and most galleries, and every time I was so motivated, I would spend hours and hours creating portfolios when I got home from high school, and I would create portfolios with everything I created. Like, I would watch videos about how to apply to galleries. I would eventually even go to the galleries with some artwork under my arm and just like old style, and well, everybody was telling me don't do that, but I would do it anyway, and every time it was so frustrating, because every time the first thing they would ask me is, how old are you? Because obviously I wasn't always dressing up with a teddy thing, but I mean, even wearing normal clothes, you see that I'm quite young, and especially when I was 16, I started being an artist when I was 14. So that's when I published my first novel, and then started going up after that. I had my first exhibition in Chicago at 15, and every time I always felt like I was fighting to exist. Because the biggest struggle of my life, I would say, is being an old lady in a young lady's body. So basically, I don't really get along with my peers, don't really get along with people my age. Most of my friends are over the age of 40. And technically, it's been very difficult for me to kind of accept that I'm young. So I would say that was the biggest struggle, but I've kind of managed to go through that thanks to, I would say, university, because, you know, once you enter an art uni, really, which is a bad thing, actually. It's not a bad thing to enter an art uni, but it's a bad thing that we have to enter an art uni to be taken seriously. But since I've started doing my bachelor in fine art, I've seen that the eyes of people who look at me kind of change, and they change every year. Like, what year are you in? First year? Oh. What year are you in? Second year? What year are you in? Third year? Oh, you know, like they get interested. But yeah, that I would say, yeah, my age, and obviously my mental illnesses were also very difficult to navigate in. Like, most of the people expect you when you're an artist and you want to start building your networking to go to private views. And obviously when you have social anxiety, also I didn't know anyone when I came here at 16 alone. So it was very difficult on a mental health level. But eventually I'm glad that I've met the right people through lots of different manners, but it was really fun, and I'm glad I did it. And now I just can't wait to go further in the ascension.
Thank you so much for that answer. And before I move on to you, Kwesi, to answer, I just want to say, well done, because outside of being you're a very glamorous moderator today, I'm a teacher, and I teach secondary school children, and knowing what some of them do with their spare time, and knowing that what you were doing was finding your purpose at such a young age, that is fantastic. And I do hope that you rise further and further in your ascension.